What's up, everyone? So, as I've been doing some studying for work and everything else like that, you always come across a section when it comes to diseases and things like that. And a lot of times, they talk about the cures and the fatality rates and things like that and how it gets transmitted. And one of the things, not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, is we have so many abilities to prevent a lot of things that come our way. Um, how we live our lives, and that can be um, psychological, social sort of things. What are we introducing our bodies to? How frequently is it shared? Things like that. So when we're talking about um, use of particular items or ourselves, in some circumstances, we inherently put ourselves in a higher category of risk for contracting certain things. That's a higher end of things. But even when we just always get down to the basics, when you're talking about resting properly, when you're talking about hydrating properly, and that means water, things like that, not just beverages. When you're talking about nutrition, how you're eating, how often, portion control, things like that. Um, and I would say exercise as well, some form of stress relief, all of those things. We can quell down a lot of diseases when it comes to certain things. When we talk about even just the stress relief and exercise, there's mental health that can be brought into that to say that these things are proven to help improve mood, behavior, things like that. So we have a lot of things at our disposal, at our fingertips, that we can implement into our lives that a lot of times we don't. Case in point, when we saw the pandemic, a lot of people, they were saying it was attacking certain segments of the population. Now, you can't necessarily help your age, but the state of quality and living sometimes at a certain age. Now, and that goes across the board, all ages. If you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, like, you should be living to take care of yourself, not just saying, well, I've got a lot of time left or I've got no time left. So, um, there were issues when it came to people's weight, their heart condition. There were underlining issues that would make it easier for people to be a casualty of an illness. Didn't have to just mean the pandemic. So again, we have the ability to educate ourselves, one, if we don't know, on how to take better care of ourselves. There's people around us. If you're watching me, then you clearly have the access to other things to be able to research what it is that you can do to better protect your health and your longevity and quality of living, because you want to build up an immune system. You want to be able to stave off certain things, or at least if you are afflicted with it, you have a better shot of surviving than a lot of other people. It's sad, but it's true. But it's also preventable. We can take preventable measures to ensure that our health stays intact. So again, you're talking about hydrating, drinking your water. Was it eight ounce glasses a day, 64 ounces, and I think that number's gone up. But you really want to be mindful of that when you're talking about your nutrition levels. I see people who will have minimal amounts of food per day and then are struggling with weight because they're not understanding how sometimes those dynamics work, and then what they're eating isn't always good for them, the time that they're eating it, the portions that they're eating it. um, those don't always work out. So we really have to be mindful of proper hydration, nutrition coming in. So, there's something that we do where we somehow brag about what we've had to overcome. And it's not a flex to say, I've got only 3 hours of sleep. That means there's a whole lot going on in life that either you're putting sleep off, or you've put so much in front of you that you can't afford to sleep. That will catch up with you. It will definitely catch up with you. And I know I did it for many years, going through certain things that were also mental stressors as well. and that's not good either. So nutrition, hydration, rest, even stress levels, be able or find people that you can talk about it with. They don't have to be licensed therapists. Sometimes we need the extra help, or we need it pointed out to us, but that is definitely a piece to that as well. Exercise, you don't have to go CrossFit crazy or try to train like Rocky or anything else like that. Just go for a walk while you are talking to a friend that you're venting out about your day, or go for a jog, or do some push-ups and squats, do some jumping jacks, or do something that allows. And a lot of times it doesn't have to be structured like that. There was I forgot what the case was, but it was where people were just taking like a piece of garden hose and beating a mattress. Now, we don't always want to do that, but what it meant was they were exhausting themselves through physical exertion and getting out stress at the same time. So a lot of times in my videos, you'll see me, punching a Bob, as I call him, and that's not because I necessarily have stress, but I definitely think that being able to do that, or just sprint or lift heavy or things like that, it allows you to exert and channel those energies into different places. So psychologically, that's an important thing to be able to do for ourselves. So what did I say? Hydration, nutrition, rest, exercise, and being able to detox, and untangle the knots in your mind. So you have meditation. There's plenty of things that we can do, but we also want to make sure we're instilling something in our lives that makes us feel like we're fulfilling something, even if it's small. Get on a language app, start learning a new language, start playing a new instrument, something you can take with you, just even the recorder or the harmonica. Take a crafting class, take a cooking class. There's just so many things that we can really help utilize our health. Now, does that mean it's going to stave off a disease if it really has, been wiping people out and has its sights set on you? It doesn't. Nothing guarantees anything. But what we really want to do is make sure that we're putting all of these things in place that are enough of a buffer to say, I'm probably going to be okay if something were to happen, or I can recover faster. And of course, the big one of the last 4 or 5 years that we always knew as kids, but somehow we had to really reiterate it in 2020, is washing your hands and coughing into your elbow instead of your hand, coughing, covering the mouth, things like that. But practicing good hygiene, definitely. And I think that also will help the psychological as well. So I just got on because that was something that ran through my mind as I'm going through these studies. And this isn't a blame game, and this is certainly not to overlook or be unempathetic to people who have already current conditions that have created weight loss, or the ability to not sleep, or things like that. I'm not trying to assign a blame. I'm just putting things out there for a lot of us who need the reminder. Some of us will have the introduction, and that's okay too. So wherever that's at, I'd like to know what you guys think on just general health in general, because again, I'm just kind of talking off the cuff, but I thought I would just put this out here because it's probably something that somebody needs to hear. And sometimes it's just the person talking. We can just remind ourselves: drink more water, eat better, sleep more, exercise, all that good stuff. So I will leave it at that, but I hope this finds everybody in your place, pursuit, or beginnings of total health, mind, body, and soul, and on your journey of health and fitness. We'll see you guys. Peace, love, unity, solidarity. And on my Impact channel, HWPO, Hard Work Pays Off, Impact Athletics Association. And look for the videos and subscriptions. We'll see you.